Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving into a story that has absolutely set the NFL world on fire. A headline that sounds almost too big to be real. And that's exactly why it's got fans talking nonstop. Because what you're about to hear is not a confirmed transaction on the league wire but a blockbuster scenario that's exploded across sports media, message boards, and Cowboys Nation timelines everywhere. The idea of Lamar Jackson in a Dallas Cowboys uniform, and whether this jaw-dropping move could ever actually happen. Let's be completely clear right from the start, because credibility matters. There has been no official announcement from the Dallas Cowboys, no press conference from Jerry Jones, and no league confirmation stating that Lamar Jackson has signed with Dallas. What we're talking about here is the kind of rumor-driven, league-shaking speculation that only comes around once in a generation, the kind that forces fans, analysts, and even players to stop and ask the same question, what if? And when the name Lamar Jackson gets attached to the star on the helmet, the entire NFL ecosystem feels the tremor. Lamar Jackson is not just another quarterback. He is a former league MVP, a player who redefined what the position could look like in the modern NFL, blending elite arm talent with game-breaking athleticism in a way defenses still struggle to contain. Since entering the league, he has been the heartbeat of Baltimore, the system, the identity, and the reason opposing coordinators lose sleep. So when whispers start circulating about Dallas, a franchise that already commands more attention than any other team in sports, the volume gets turned all the way up. The reason this rumor has legs, even if it remains hypothetical, is because of timing, context, and unresolved tension around the Cowboys' long-term direction at quarterback. Dallas has talent everywhere, a massive brand, a win-now roster, and relentless pressure to deliver championships rather than just playoff appearances. Every season that ends short of a Super Bowl intensifies the spotlight, and every offseason brings the same uncomfortable questions about whether the current formula is enough. Now imagine, just for a moment, the Cowboys deciding to do what they've rarely done in the modern era, swing for the fences without hesitation. Imagine Jerry Jones looking at the league landscape, looking at Philadelphia, San Francisco, Detroit, and Kansas City, and deciding that incremental improvement is no longer acceptable. In that scenario, the name Lamar Jackson immediately jumps to the top of the list as a transformative force rather than a marginal upgrade. From a football standpoint, the fit is fascinating. Dallas already boasts elite skill position talent, a powerful offensive line when healthy, and a defense capable of creating short fields. Plugging in a quarterback like Lamar would instantly change how teams are forced to defend the Cowboys. Safeties can't cheat. Linebackers can't hesitate. Edge rushers have to stay disciplined. Every snap becomes a calculated risk for the defense, because Lamar punishes even the smallest mistake. The ripple effect would be massive. Running lanes widen not because of scheme alone but because defenders are frozen by the threat of the quarterback keeping the ball. Play action becomes lethal. Red zone efficiency skyrockets. Third downs become manageable instead of desperate. Suddenly, the Cowboys' offense shifts from predictable to terrifying, from talented to uncontainable. But of course, a move of this magnitude would never be simple. The contract implications alone would reshape the franchise. Lamar Jackson commands elite quarterback money, and rightly so. Any hypothetical deal would require sacrifices, restructures, and difficult decisions across the roster. Fans would debate whether it's worth it, whether depth would suffer, whether the gamble could backfire if injuries strike. These are the same debates every contender faces when they chase greatness instead of settling for comfort. Then there's the cultural impact, because Lamar Jackson doesn't just change playbooks, he changes narratives. Dallas instantly becomes the center of the NFL universe in a way that even the Cowboys aren't used to. Primetime games multiply. Media scrutiny intensifies. Every win is magnified, and every loss becomes a national event. Lamar thrives in the spotlight, but the Dallas spotlight is different, brighter, harsher, and unrelenting. One of the most intriguing aspects of this speculative scenario is how it would redefine expectations overnight. With Lamar Jackson under center, anything short of a Super Bowl appearance would be seen as failure. There would be no more patience, no more rebuilding language, no more excuses about development. The Cowboys would be all in, and the league would treat them accordingly. Critics would raise familiar concerns. They would question durability, playoff performance, and long-term sustainability. They would point to past postseason exits and argue that style of play doesn't translate when the weather turns cold and the stakes get high. Supporters would fire back with numbers, tape, and context, reminding everyone that football is the ultimate team sport and that Lamar has often carried more than his fair share of the load. What makes this rumor so compelling is that it forces a larger conversation about how franchises define success. Is it better to be consistently competitive, making the playoffs year after year, or to take a massive risk in pursuit of ultimate glory? The Cowboys have lived in that tension for decades, balancing tradition with innovation, stability with ambition. If such a deal were ever to materialize, the reaction in Dallas would be explosive. Jerseys would sell out overnight. Season ticket demand would spike. Social media would be flooded with highlights, mock formations, and Super Bowl predictions. At the same time, the pressure on everyone involved would be suffocating, because when you acquire a superstar, anonymity disappears. Around the league, the response would be just as intense. NFC rivals would immediately recalibrate. Defensive coordinators would spend entire offseasons designing schemes specifically for Dallas. The balance of power would shift, and suddenly the path to the Super Bowl would feel very different for a lot of teams. It's also worth considering what this says about the modern NFL, where quarterback movement, once unthinkable at the elite level, has become a legitimate possibility. Loyalty, system continuity, and long-term plans are increasingly challenged by cap realities and championship windows. Fans grow attached, but front offices are paid to think ruthlessly. For Lamar Jackson, a move to Dallas, even in theory, represents both opportunity and risk. The opportunity to cement a legacy on the biggest stage in American sports, and the risk of carrying the weight of a franchise that measures success only in rings. Some players shy away from that burden. Others are drawn to it. As of right now, this story lives in the realm of speculation, a reminder of how one rumor can capture the imagination of an entire fan base and dominate conversation across the league. Whether it ever becomes reality or fades into the long list of what-ifs, it tells us something important about where the Cowboys are, where they want to go, and how hungry their fans are for something that finally breaks the cycle. So keep your eyes open, because in the NFL, today's impossible headline can become tomorrow's breaking news faster than anyone expects. Until then, this remains a fascinating scenario, a bold idea, and a glimpse into the kind of move that would shake the league to its core. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to stay ahead of every major Cowboys rumor, analysis, and breaking update, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss what's coming next.